Hey yo, what's going on guys? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be starting on our mega ship, as I've been talking about for, I think, one episode at this point, I guess. So you guys don't really know much about it. So what it's going to be is it's going to be a big ship that will have the ability to carry a helicopter, a medium ship, a small quick ship, as well as, I think, maybe a small land vehicle that the helicopter can carry to land and such, just for transport, I guess you could say. So maybe we might even build a submarine on it. That would be pretty cool, I think. So let's get into the video, but if you haven't already, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the Discord. It'll be linked down below. And while you're at it, you might as well turn on notifications so you're notified every time I upload. Anyways guys, let's get into the video. Alright guys, so getting started, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get started with the hull. That'll be the fundamental, I guess, main part of the ship. So we're just going to go ahead and drag it up to here, all the way to the front. So we're going to go ahead and add a slope here. Actually, we'll go ahead and add a slope at the front, going down two of these, and then down one, and then down the rest of the way with these. Down until here. Maybe not there, probably up a few blocks. Probably up to here. Then these will just be like that. That should be good enough, I assume. Actually, yeah, that should be a decent sized hole for it. So, for this we're just going to go ahead and start with the shape of this part right here. So we're going to go out 4 blocks like that, and then back quite a few blocks with the 1x2 wedges. We'll go back to here, and then the rest of the way is going to be 1x4 wedges. Actually, no, let's go ahead and increase the 1x1 wedges to 8 blocks. 8 blocks out, I guess. So I believe... Okay, let's see. So this is the starting point. There's already 4 right here. So that'll be 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th block out. We'll delete these and change it to 1x4 wedges. Sorry, 1x2 wedges, I mean. We'll drag it out 4. Let's go ahead and actually drag this out to 8 as well. So this is where we're going to stop with those. Okay, we'll change it to 1x4 wedges. From here, a little further back to about right here. Then we can go ahead and stop building outwards. That'll be far enough out. So right here, we're just going to go ahead and quickly fill these in. I'll be back once I'm done. Okay, that's good enough. So right here, we're going to go ahead and fill this part in. So it's kind of like the bottom part. Actually, I guess we could, I suppose, copy and paste this to over here, and then just copy it up and then flip it. Okay, that'll work. Alright, awesome. So that's pretty good, pretty good. Let's go ahead and fill this part in. It's going to be flat. Actually, let's not grab that top block. There we go. That's more like it. Okay, so we're going to go a few blocks back here. So this is going to be a ship with quite a few floors and areas and such. So we're going to go ahead and kind of map it out. There's going to be the top deck. Well, not the top deck. The first deck inside the hull. It'll be, I think 9 on the inside. No, it's 10. Okay, we gotta go 9. So this will be the floor of that. Okay, we're gonna go down 10 more blocks. So we have another 9 block tall floor, and then we'll go down to here, which is 10 blocks as well. This will be the very, very bottom of the hull. We should have an engine room for this ship, just so we can, like, do fire suppression and such manually if the ship is already broken down, so that will be handy. So let's go ahead and fill this back to here very quickly, very simply. There we go. Let's fill it into here like that, and let's go ahead and copy this last few blocks, and then we can paste it back quite a few blocks more, and then use that as a quick way to build the hull. So let's go ahead and go back to here, and we're just going to quickly merge it. Okay, like that. then we're going to go back to this right here, and then we'll grab it again. It'll go back to the default grid area, and then we can go ahead and copy it and paste it now that it's bigger. We'll go ahead and paste it back to roughly here. Okay, let's go ahead and merge it. Alright, cool. So this back area, let's go ahead and finish the hole really quickly. So this back area, I kind of want to end on the second floor right here instead of doing it the same level all the way back. So this will be the open area for probably a couple of the vehicles. So let's go ahead and build it back here. So the hole should not be curving up further than probably right here, I want to say. So we'll have all the props and such under here, and then the maximum, I guess, tilt area. Well, for the curvature, probably back here. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but it shouldn't be terrible. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in a time-lapse mode, and then I'll be back with you guys. Alright guys, I just remembered that I was going to do sort of like a split hole at the back, so there's going to be like a big open area where the medium ship is going to be. So this is going to be a different hole than I thought I was going to do. So it's sort of going to like leave this open area, I guess you could say. We'll probably leave, I don't know how many blocks we'd leave. We'd probably leave maybe 11 blocks, I would say. That seems reasonable, but maybe... Okay, well, maybe... We could probably leave... So the pathway could be 7 wide, and then we could leave this wide of a gap. But we could also expand the overall width of the hole, so we can expand the medium ship while we're building it later on, if necessary. So it's going to be sort of a split hole. You guys will see in a minute. So I'm just going to go back to the time lapse while I do that really quickly. Alright guys, now that we did that, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get started on the bridge superstructure, I guess you could say. We're going to sort of start designing it. So what's going to be here, there's going to be a big crane right here for stuff. There's going to be probably a helipad somewhere right here, then the bridge is going to be up here. That's the plan at the moment. So let's go ahead and get started on this. This right here, this hole is going to be part of a life raft that we can deploy if we're ever in an emergency. So let's go ahead and make it, how wide is this? This is 8 blocks, so let's go ahead and make it 9 blocks wide. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and make a sort of another bridge back here that the crane operators will operate right here. There could be 2 cranes on each, well, 1 crane on each side, and they could operate from there. So let's go ahead and build this up back here. Let's go ahead and fill this in really quickly. Alright, now let's grab a 1x2 wedge and slope this down like so. Alright, now let's go ahead and get started on the bridge after we quickly fill this in. So this is just going to be a floor connected to the main deck, which you can access the life rafts that way through the main deck. You just have to walk through a hallway, which will be right here eventually. So let's go ahead and drag this out to here. Let's make the floor go a little bit further. Then let's go ahead and place this to there. Alright, so the life raft will be here. And we will go ahead and make part of the bridge right up here. Actually, I think we should go Maybe we should go ahead and go up another floor before the bridge, so we get extra height for the bridge. I'm probably gonna make this wider so it could actually look more reasonable for how tall it is. So there's going to be another floor up here, which will contain a lot of stuff we'll need, like medical stuff, all that. So let's go ahead and actually move this entire back area a little further back where the life raft is. So let's go ahead and grab it all really quickly like that. Okay, let's cut it. Actually, we need to do one more layer really quickly. Let's clear content, Control Z, and then let's move it. Let's move it to, let's go ahead and move it back to here. Alright, let's merge it. Awesome. Okay, let's fill this in. Let's fill this in right here. So let's only make it 7 blocks tall on the inside. So we can go ahead and delete these blocks right here. And then we'll fill in the roof like that. Actually, you know what, let's make it 8 blocks. Just so we can add extra decoration to the top. Well, a decoration that we don't hit with our head, that is. Okay, so let's go ahead and fill this in right here, since it was deleted when we moved it back. Alright, let's go ahead and fill this into here, as well as this to here. Alright, let's drag this to here, and this to here. And then the bridge will be up here on top of this. So there will be another layer, which this could, I don't know. It'll contain stuff, I guess. So let's go ahead and add like a little support thing so we can have the bridge come over this a little bit. Just for, I guess, decoration / design. So let's drag it up to here. Okay. Now we'll go ahead and make the bridge go out here, and then it'll go in with a curve, a couple blocks, 3 blocks exactly. Okay, we'll drag this to here. Okay, let's fill this in really quickly. And then let's fill this in, as well as this. Yeah, I'm probably gonna make this wider, because this does not look very... It looks too tall for how thin it is. Actually, I don't know. Let's go ahead and add the bridge really quickly. So, the bridge is going to go up a couple blocks. We'll go ahead and, I guess, calculate it. So, there's going to be a window here with 2 supports, one here and one here. Then there's going to be another window. Actually, I think this will be the front area where there's sort of the curve, and then the slant like this, I guess, if you guys understand. It's sometimes hard for me to explain something where it's simplified. So let's go ahead and get started on the bridge. We're just going to go ahead and start with the outline like this, and then we'll drag this to here, and then we'll go ahead and drag this back here, then this to here. Yep, we'll go with that. Then we'll drag this to right here, and then this back to here. Okay. Actually, let's go ahead and add a balcony right here. Let's go ahead and move this area further back. So, let's add a balcony to the inside area, sort of. So we'll need 4 blocks of space, 3 to move around, and 1 for the rail. So I still need to research into rails, but I don't have enough experience. Well, not experience, research, I meant. So let's just move this to here. Give some extra space for the inside of the bridge. And then we'll go ahead and drag this down. And then we'll make the wall for the bridge. Let's fill this floor in all the way to here. So a lot of this is most likely going to be changed in some way in the future. So let's not imagine this as the final design. Okay, so right here we're going to have the main, I guess, wall for siding, I guess you could say, in a simpler form. So let's go ahead and build this up. Alright, let's add the supports quickly so that we can have windows here. So there's going to be a window here, and then here, basically every 3 blocks. Okay, so it did end a block early, so that's fine, but what we can do is we can go ahead and move this side, well, I guess both sides in, and then we could have another window right here to add to this side window. Well, the corner window, I mean. So let's just move it to there. Let's paste it. And then let's go ahead and do the same for the other side. So let's cut it and paste it. Then we'll go ahead and merge it. Alright, let's go ahead and place the windows in really quickly. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and fill this in across. Alright, we're going to add the window here, this one to here, and then we're going to add this window here. So to do that, we're going to have to place up a few blocks, like this, and then we'll press U. Okay, then we'll place this block here, like so. Okay, this will be a window support. Actually, how am I gonna do this? I don't know. Okay, we'll just leave it as this for now. Okay, let's go ahead and fill this in. So this will probably be filled in like this, I guess. For now, we might change it later, but for now it's gonna be like that. Okay, let's go ahead and smooth this out. Alright, let's add a angled, or not angled, a large angled window. There we go. Just like that. Okay, let's go ahead and fill this in to here. Let's add a support. And, you know what? Let's go ahead and make another railing out here. Let's just extend this railing a bit. Well, not railing, but walkway. So it'll have to be 4 blocks. Alright, we'll add another support for a window here. Alright, then let's hope. Okay, so it ends on the second block towards the end. That's fine. So we can go ahead and make the wall here. And let's make it 4 blocks tall. And we'll end it here. Okay, so this is definitely going to be wider in the future. So, okay, we need to go out another block for this. Yeah, this really has to be wider. It's way too thin. Okay, so for this, to avoid this, we're just going to add two 2x3 windows here in this corner, and then we're just going to continue the 3x3 windows here all the way along the side, and then here will be a 2x3 window. Then we'll go ahead and add windows to this part all the way out to this part. So what's going to be here is actually no, never mind. I was going to do sort of a bridge window up here. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and do what we did up here back there for more sight. So let's go ahead and copy and paste this whole chunk back to here, and then we'll turn it around, and then we'll go ahead and, oh, we did not grab the entire thing. Okay, let's go ahead and line it back up. Let's grab it, and let's cut it and paste it. Well, not cut it and paste it, copy and paste it is what I meant. So let's angle it over the edge like this, so we can see everything properly. Okay, let's merge it. Okay, this will be a solid block for now. I might change it later, but most likely gonna keep it. So let's go ahead and fill this wall in. Okay, right here needs to be a door. Yeah, let's go ahead and add a door here. So do we have a door at the moment? Yeah, we do. Alright, let's go ahead and place it down. It'll be a hinged door. We'll just place it right there, simply. Okay, let's add a corner to here. Maybe another block, just in case. Okay, let's add a window here. Yeah, 3x3 window. This one right here. It's called a large window. And then there we go. Alright, so let's go ahead and add the curved top. So it'll start here with this simple wedge, and this top part will be curved inward. Okay, then let's go ahead and place back to here. Actually, let's go ahead and change this so this side is sloped inward as well. So this part will be regular, so we'll just match it with this wedge. And then we'll just go ahead and fill this in. Actually, you know what? Why not? Let's go ahead and add this to a wedge. This will be straight right here. You know what? I keep changing my mind. Let's go ahead and turn it into a curve. Well, curved inward. A slope inward, I guess. So let's add these corner pieces like we did back there and here. Okay, let's drag this to here. Let's just change this to this wedge. We'll drag it up and then delete these. We'll drag this to here. We'll add this wedge right here to connect this to this back curve. There we go. Awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and put the roof in. Like that. Bam. There we go. Alright, let's quickly add windows, and then I think I will be out of time there. So, I'm going to quickly fill in the windows. Alright guys, that's all I have time for today, so let's go ahead and quickly save it as, just for now, Mega Boat, I guess. But before I end the episode, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a quick paint layer, or paint code to the outside of the ship, so it looks good when we end the episode. So, yeah, because sometimes it just looks better with the paint code before I end episodes, I guess. That's the simple answer, at least. Sorry for all those pings in the background. Discord is not muted like I usually mute it for recording videos. I do apologize for that. Alright, let's just quickly paint the entire thing. Quickly, because I am going over time, which the typical time that I record a video for is 20 minutes. That's my goal. So, we will paint this bottom part black, just for now. We're going to move the water line up a little bit higher, but we'll do that later on. So, I do hope you guys enjoyed, so thank you guys all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the Discord. It'll be linked down below, and while you're at it, you might as well turn on notifications so you're notified every time I upload. Anyways, guys, bye for now.